Ramadan, yeah, suppose you has received or achieved last Ramadan, you have attended the whole Ramadan, but before the new Ramadan, the coming Ramadan, you remembered, oh, you had missed 1 or 2 days of Ramadan last time. You forgot, but sometimes before Ramadan you have remembered that. So a day before that or 2 days before that you are allowed to fast, because this is a fast which is must upon you. You have to make them up. So you are allowed to do. This is the third type, who has missed his previous Ramadan, days of previous Ramadan, then he must finish it before starting of the new Ramadan. The fourth type of a person is a person who has vows to fast a day or 2 days for Allah, and so on so and so dates, and that date falls on the day of Shaban, the last days of Shaban. Like, for an example, nadar, we say nadar. In Urdu we say mannat. In Arabic we say nadar, same thing. In English we say either oath or vow. In that case, if a person has vowed that he will be fasting 1 day for the sake of Allah, now this fasting has become obligatory of Ramadan. So he must, anytime in his life, he has to fulfill that. The same thing if he has vowed for 2 days. So this person is allowed to fast a day before or 2 days before Ramadan. So let me conclude this first. The hadith which I read to you from Abu Huraira, reported by Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam made it very clear that it is haram for the person to fast a day or 2 days before starting of the Ramadan. Like tomorrow is Ramadan and tomorrow is Saturday. So Thursday and Friday is not allowed for the Muslims to fast. But he continued, who? Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said that it is permissible for only that person who used to fast on these 2 days. And the scholars have studied that who is permitted to do that. So they have divided 4 types of people. The one who used to fast Thursdays and Mondays. So he can do that, because if Thursday or Monday falls a day, the last day of Shaban, a day before Ramadan, then he can continue. A second person who was he used to fast 2 days, Thursdays and Fridays, or Saturdays and Fridays, like that. So he can. And the last one, the third one is the one who has missed his days. So he can fast. And the fourth one is the one who has made an oath or vow that he has to fast for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then that person is allowed to fast. So these are 2 issues. Number 1, that you can fast the whole of Shaban, or you can fast part of Shaban, but it is not allowed for anybody who was not of those 4 types, then it is not allowed for anybody to fast on a day before or 2 days before Ramadan. Is this issue clear? أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Another hadith reported by Abdullah bin Abbas, and this is collected by Imam al-Tirmidhi and Imam al-Nasai in their books Sunan. Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhu is saying, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do not observe fasting before the advent of Ramadan. Observe the fasting at the sighting of the crescent of Ramadan and terminate it at sighting the crescent of Shawwal. If the sky is overcast, complete the month as 30 days. Now this hadith is also very, very clear, which refers to the first hadith of Abu Huraira, that you should not fast a day before Ramadan. But when you want to start the Ramadan, then you have to start with the crescent. Sumu li ru'yatihi wafturu li ru'yatihi. You have to start Ramadan by seeing the crescent, and you have to break your Ramadan, celebrate Eid by seeing the crescent. And he says, in case the hilal, the moon, the crescent is not clear, either at the beginning of Ramadan or at the ending of Ramadan, then you have to count. If it is a problem to see the crescent for the starting of Ramadan, then you have to count 30 days of Shaban, because a month before Ramadan is Shaban. So you have to count 30 days of Shaban. Once you have completed 30 days of Shaban, the 31st day will be 1st of Ramadan. The same thing is applied when you have completed 29 days of Ramadan. You have opened your fast on 29th. Now tomorrow can be 30th Ramadan or can be Eid. So you don't know. So you have to look for the crescent. And if the crescent is not clear, then the hadith tells you that you have to continue you have to count 30 days of Ramadan. So 29, you have done it. The confusion is on the next day, so you have to fast one more day to make it 30 days of Ramadan, and the 31st will become the first day of Shawwal, which will be the first day of Eid. This is very clear from this hadith. Hadith number 3. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is very important, and this will be continued inshallah for you people the next Jummah, when we will be talking about 15th of Shaban. This hadith is quoted in Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi and Sunan Sahih ibn Hibban. And all these ahadiths which I have quoted here and mentioned in this article, they are all authentic, alhamdulillah. Where Abu Hurairah is saying that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam has said, when there comes the middle of Shaban, 15th of Shaban, do not observe fasting. Do not observe fastings. Now what does that mean? It continues the next hadith, which is reported again in Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, Nasai, Ibn Majah, Sahih ibn Hibban, and this is by Ammar bin Yasir radiallahu anh. He said that he who observes the fast on a doubtful day, which is whether it is 30th of Shaban or it is 29th of Shaban or tomorrow is Ramadan or not, then has in fact disobeyed Abul Qasim. Abul Qasim is the nickname of Rasulullah. So if a person fasts on the day of doubt, like you may be in a place where you are not sure whether tomorrow is Ramadan or not. You have no access to the crescent. You have no access to the Maulvi Sahibs, Mufti Sahibs. You have to be thankful. If you are around Maulvi Sahib, then you will be having a problem in Bari Park. There are people who start Ramadan a day before, people who will be starting after 2 days, people will start Eid like that, and it's a big joke for the kuffar. You know, they make mockery of the Muslims that half of the class, the children are celebrating Eid, and the other half they are attending the class. So how can we decide which day should be the holiday for you? And it's a big joke for us, subhanallah. But if you see today BBC website, you will know that they have already fixed the starting of Ramadan and they have already fixed the starting of Eid. But unfortunately, we Muslims, we will be fighting. They have already put the dates. It will be, according to BBC, the 12th will be the 12th of August, will be first Ramadan. And 9th or 10th they have put, I don't exactly remember, they have said that September will be the Eid. So they are so, you can say punctual and regular in their calculation, where we Muslims will be fighting. And sometimes we don't even greet salam. Suppose I'm fasting the first day of Ramadan and that person is thinking that today is not Ramadan, he won't even greet salam to me. You're following Saudi. Oh, you're following Morocco. You're following that. Subhanallah. It's a big shame on us. So coming back to this, it is very clear that if you don't have the access to the crescent, if you don't have any access to the fatwas of the ulama, where you don't get the information, it is not that hard today. It is alhamdulillah everywhere you can get the information. And you get accurate information even a month before that, because of the counting of the crescent. They have, alhamdulillah, they have charts, and they say that today the crescent will be this shape, the next day it will be this, and then on 15th of Shaban it will be this big. And again when it goes to the end of the month, it will be of this size. So they have this calculation, alhamdulillah. But still, this is, the calculation of the satellite bodies are controlled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why we get this guidance. So we have to follow the guidance. And doubtful day, we must not fast. The hadith which I quoted about middle of Shaban. Again, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he said that you are not allowed to fast a day or 2 days before Ramadan, that only 4 people are allowed. But this hadith is for all of us. This hadith is for all of us, that if you are not among those who are fasting Mondays and Thursdays, if you are not amongst the one who used to fast 2 days, you are not among the ones who has vowed that you will be fasting for the sake of Allah, you are not amongst the one who has missed his days, then it is haram for you to fast from 15th of Shaban if you have not observed the fast before 15th of Shaban. Is that clear? I repeat again. If you were fasting 13th, 14th and 15th of Islamic month, then you are allowed to continue even after 15th of Shaban. But if you were not fasting this 13th, 14th and 15th, you were not fasting on Thursdays and Mondays, you were not the one who has missed your previous days of Ramadan, you are not the one who has vowed to fast for the sake of Allah, and you are not the one who fasts 2 days consequently, like Thursday, Friday or Monday, Thursday, like that. If you were not fasting 2 days, then it is not allowed for you to start fasting from 15th of Shaban if you were not doing fasting before that. This is the hadith says. It says that Rasulullah said, when there comes the middle of Shaban, do not fast. Is that clear? Okay. Alhamdulillah. Now, pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah give us sincerity to understand the Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to accept them in our heart, to implement them in our life, and to convey them to the people. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that all those brothers and sisters who are misguided or have gone away from Islam, may Allah bring them close to Islam. And you have to use your special effort to that. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah forgive the sins of those people who have passed away. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah give them a quick recovery who are ill and sick and they are fallen and they need our du'as. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah give us sincere iman. Us. Say Ameen, it won't cost you anything. It's free. But if it comes from your heart, you'll get, believe me, this is something which even the most richest person of the dunya needs. There is nobody who will say, I don't need the dua. Everybody needs dua. So make this dua sincerely, deeply from your heart to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah give us sincere iman. Ameen. May Allah give us sound health. Ameen. And may Allah give us everlasting halal wealth. Ameen. Thumma ameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وأقم الصلاة. Inshallah, after the Salah, we have to announce something about an event which will be taking place tomorrow next to Bury Park, next to the Barclays Bank. It's against the boycotting of this Jewish products. So inshallah, the brother will be announcing. Please remain seated after the Salah, inshallah.
والذين يبيتون لربهم سجدا وقياما